Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple D Presents Face to Face with Dion and Shawn. I'm Dion.
And I'm Shawn.
Welcome, Shawn.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right. So today's story is infuriating. Like, absolutely infuriating. And I really have to question what the hell was going on in the mind of President Biden, because I'm just going to read you the headline. You guys probably saw it on the thumbnail. Trump highlights Biden admin authorizing deadly use of force in Mar-A-Lago raid.
Insane.
It's nuts. FBI said it followed standard protocol in its August 2022 raid on Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate in Florida. I'm sorry, what? Okay, let's dig into this, because this is, and there's a particular point I'm going to get to that's nuts. But starting at the beginning, the Biden administration authorized the use of deadly force during the FBI's raid on President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida in August 2022 as part of its investigation into classified records, court documents reveal. Quote, "The FBI followed standard protocol in this search, as we do for all search warrants, which includes a standard policy statement limiting the use of deadly force. No one ordered additional steps to be taken, and there was no departure from the norm in this matter," the FBI told Fox News in a statement Tuesday. An operations order produced in discovery as part of Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation into Trump's alleged improper retention of classified records revealed that, quote, "The FBI believed its objective for the Mar-a-Lago raid was to seize classified information, NDI, and U.S. government records," end quote, as described in the search warrant. The order, according to a court filing, contained a policy statement regarding use of deadly force, which stated, for example, quote, "Law enforcement officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force when necessary." Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause here for a moment because I want the gravity of this to really, really sink in. They sent the FBI to the home of a former president looking for some fucking paperwork and said it's okay to shoot people. It gets better. I truly believe somebody was trying to get somebody killed, because here is a PDF here, but we're going to skip that because this next part is insane. Here we go. According to the filing, the DOJ and FBI agents, quote, "planned to bring standard issue weapons, ammo, handcuffs, and, quote, medium and large size bolt cutters." Okay, all of that, but okay, that's pretty standard. However, the next part of this, but they were instructed to wear, quote, "unmarked polo or collared shirts, and to keep law enforcement equipment concealed." Let that sink in. This is a president who is surrounded by Secret Service at all times. That's their fucking job. They defend the president, right? And prevent things like, I don't know, assassination attempts. They sent a bunch of G-men and told them to hide the law enforcement identity and then told them it's okay to shoot people. I don't know if, like, am I the only one that sees this as a big freaking problem?
No.
I can't be, right?
No, you're not.
What's the I can't think of the guy's name, but the song "Am I the Only One?" Right? Is it Aaron Rodgers? I think.
I have no idea.
Anyway, it's a good song if you haven't heard it. But to continue in the article, Trump, who spent another day in a New York City courtroom for his unprecedented criminal trial, stemming from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's investigation into Trump allegedly falsifying business records, reacted to the revelations Tuesday afternoon. Quote, "Wow, I just came out of the Biden witch hunt trial in Manhattan, the icebox, and was shown reports that crooked Joe Biden's DOJ, in their illegal and unconstitutional raid of Mar-A-Lago, authorized the FBI to use deadly, in parentheses, lethal force," Trump posted on his Truth Social. "Now we know for sure that Joe Biden is a serious threat to democracy." Trump added, "He is mentally unfit to hold office." 25th Amendment. Trump was charged out of Smith's investigation into his retention of classified material. Trump pleaded not guilty to all 37 felony charges from Smith's probe, including willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and false statements. Trump was also charged with an additional 3 counts as part of a superseding indictment out of the investigation, a count of willful retention of national defense information, and 2 obstruction counts. Trump pleaded not guilty. The federal piece of garbage judge presiding over the case, Judge Eileen Cannon of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, postponed the trial stemming from Smith's case indefinitely. The trial was set to begin May 20th. So instead of dismissing it, because that's what it deserves, especially given the story we did on the evidence being tampered with.
Yep.
Forget everything else. The evidence being tampered with is enough right there to get rid of everything. Like, dismiss the charges, done. As a matter of fact, it should have been dismissed with prejudice, which means they can't refile. That's it. That's the wow. Is all I can
show
say.
the PDF.
So yeah, we have a PDF here. United States of America v. Donald J. Trump, Waltine Nota, and Carlos de Oliveira. President Trump's motion for relief relating to the Mar-a-Lago raid and unlawful piercing of attorney-client privilege. Let's see here. There's a lot. Okay, so all right. So it looks like the first 1A. Well, 1 is the Mar-a-Lago raid violated President Trump's constitutional rights. A, relevant facts. A1, the decision to raid. 2, the warrant application. 3, the general warrant. It's quite long, but let's see what we can find here. Okay, so the Mar-a-Lago raid violated President Trump's constitutional rights. On August 8th, now this is from the court filing itself that I believe the Trump team filed on his behalf. On August 8th, 2022, armed FBI agents stormed the private residence of a former president of the United States. Let that really fucking sink in, man. I apologize for my language because I usually do try to be a little cleaner, but this really, really infuriates me. I'm just going to pause for a second because I really need to vent here. All this crap that's going on with President Trump and these charges and all this ridiculous garbage. Let's bear in mind, just in case you haven't been paying attention, right? What the entire claim is that Trump took documents with him when he left the presidency that were classified. Now, forget about the fact that as president, you can classify or declassify anything you want. It's literally the highest office in the land. You are in charge of what is classified. Forget about that, though. let's compare apples to apples just for a brief moment. I'm waiting for charges for Biden.
You'll be waiting a while.
I know that. I know that because let's face it, it's ridiculous at this point.
What he did was much worse.
And Biden was never the president before.
No.
I mean, he's the resident now, but like he was the VP. VP cannot take classified documents.
He also took documents when he was a senator.
Right, exactly. So it's not enough that they have charged a former president with ridiculous crimes, but they also sent people to his home to, I believe, someone was supposed to die, and then they could blame everything on Trump.
Well, and then I don't get what the argument would be to even have that. We're talking about documents.
Right. It's insane. We're talking about pieces of paper.
What do they think it's
former president? This isn't. Here's the thing. This is not some drug runner. This is not some. This is not some career criminal that's surrounded by gang members. This is a former president surrounded by Secret Service. They literally could have picked up the phone and said, hey, we got to serve this warrant. We're going to come. We're going to pick up these documents.
What do they think was on those papers? Do they know what's on the papers?
Yeah, and that's the other problem is they allegedly inventoried this stuff like we talked about before, and the inventory doesn't match. There's some sketchy ass stuff going on here. Continuing on with the document. What was unthinkable with respect to President Clinton's recordings and deemed unwarranted with respect to Hillary Clinton's destruction of evidence, let's not forget about that.
Her server.
Was determined, what's that?
Her server.
Right, her server, BleachBit and all that crap, was determined to be appropriate by the Biden administration for President Biden's chief political rival. Personally authorized by Attorney General Garland and supported over FBI objections by DOJ leadership who did not, quote, give a damn about the optics, end quote, of these unprecedented steps. The raid of Mar-A-Lago was unconstitutional. It says here the decision to raid Mar-A-Lago. In August 2022, the FBI did not believe that it was necessary to raid Mar-A-Lago. See example 1 at USA-0094-0268. In an August 1st internal FBI email, Special Agent Redacted Warren wrote that DOJ/FBI would respectfully request former President Trump's cooperation via Mr. Redacted, via, quote, a consensual search. According to Stephen D'Antuono, I think so, who was the assistant director in charge of the FBI's Washington field office at the time. The FBI's preference in, quote, dealing with cases like this was to seek consent from Redacted. D'Antuono interview at 23. I'm not sure what that is. D'Antuono, quote, firmly believed that the best scenario would have been consent for the FBI, for former President Trump, and for the country. I agree with that. That would have been the best way to go. Go, look, man, like I said, pick up the phone. We got to get these documents, dude, you know. D'Antuono took that position in emails that were written back and forth but have not been produced. It's various see alsos and this. D'Antuono confirming that he, quote, put in a communication that he had some concerns about not doing the normal protocol of attorneys working together. DOJ and the FBI appear to have debated the issue during, for example, on August 1st, 2022, meeting at FBI HQ regarding search warrant discussion. Compel mod, example 34. On August 3rd, Deputy Assistant Attorney General George Toscas and Jay Bratt, participated in a follow-up call with agents from the FBI's Washington field office regarding the warrant. See this. According to an email regarding the call, Tosca stated, quote, that he frankly doesn't give a damn about the optics of the unprecedented raid. And the group discussed how Brett already has built an antagonistic relationship with POTUS's attorney. Ultimately, Attorney General Garland personally approved the raid. Number 2, the warrant application. On August 5th, 2022, Special Agent Redacted submitted an application for a search warrant in this district that targeted Mar-A-Lago. Example 2, the affidavit in support of the warrant claimed inaccurately that the, quote, investigation began as a result of a referral from NARA on February 9th, 2022, and that the FBI, quote, opened a criminal investigation only after initial review of the NARA referral. It gives various references. Special Agent Redacted affidavit specified the following locations at Mar-A-Lago only where witnesses had claimed boxes were stored. The White and Gold Ballroom within Mar-A-Lago, a ground floor storage room, a room that leads to the storage room, the anteroom, the entryway of President Trump's personal residential suite, Pine Hall, an anteroom to President Trump's personal residential suite, the 45 office, an office space used by President Trump at Mar-A-Lago. Okay. Number 3, the general warrant. Attachment A to the warrant sought and obtained by Special Agent Redacted described the property to be searched as the entirety of Mar-A-Lago, a mansion with approximately 58 bedrooms, 33 bathrooms on a 17-acre estate, including the 45 office, all storage rooms, and all other rooms or areas within the premises in which boxes or documents could be stored, including all structures or buildings on the estate. The definition of the area to be searched purported to exclude, quote, areas currently, i.e. at the time of the search, being occupied, rented, or used by third parties, such as Mar-a-Lago members, and not otherwise used or available to be used by President Trump and his staff, such as private guest suites. So everything that wasn't rented out, they wanted searched.
They searched Barron Trump's room, too.
Right? Do they think that he's going to keep documents in his teenage son's room? Like, dude, these people kill me. Like, they really, really do. And my point from earlier with all of this, and it is lawfare at this point, absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the type of shit you see in third world countries. If they can do this to a former president billionaire, what hope do we have?
True.
Honestly. Some shit's got to change, man. Moving on. Attachment B to the warrant authorized the seizure of, quote, all physical documents and records constituting evidence, contraband, fruits of crime, or other items illegally possessed in violation of 18 U.S.C. 793, 2071, or 1519, including any containers, boxes, including any other contents in which documents with classification markings were located, stored, or found together. Information regarding the retrieval, storage, or transmission of national defense information, and any government and or presidential records created between January 20th, 2017 and January 20th, 2021. Now, 2 really important points here. Number 1, president can choose what's classified. That's like, that really stops everything right there. But continuing on, a really important second point. The chain of custody on this was atrocious. And what's really interesting is the FBI themselves packed these boxes and shipped them where they were stored without anybody messing with them.
Uh-huh.
This was a setup. Pure and simple, a straight up setup. Number 4, the illegal raid. According to an operations order produced in discovery, The FBI believed its objective for the Mar-A-Lago raid was to seize classified information. We covered that. The order contained a policy statement regarding use of deadly force, which stated use deadly force when necessary. And then, again, the very, very important, the agents plan to bring standard issue weapons, ammo, handcuffs, medium, large size bolt cutters. But they were instructed to wear unmarked polo or collared shirts and to keep law enforcement equipment concealed.
Crazy.
Absolute freaking insanity. Absolutely insane. I believe that the goal for someone, whoever was responsible for I guess Garland, Biden approves all this shit. So Garland / Biden, they wanted somebody dead so they could blame Trump. Ideally, let's face it,
Trump.
Yeah, they wanted DJT gone, man. They've been wanting his ass gone because nobody else stands a chance of getting rid of this stuff at this point.
No, he's the only chance.
He's the only one. He's the only chance we have right now, unless we do it ourselves, and that's going to be very, very messy. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
The FBI commenced the raid at approximately 9 a.m. on August 8th, 2022. The agents did not leave Mar-A-Lago until approximately 6:40 p.m. that evening. To be fair, just for a moment, it's a big-ass place. So, yeah. The roving and highly inappropriate search covered, for example, a gym, kitchen, the former First Lady master bedroom suite, and the child's bedroom suite used by President Trump's son.
Yep.
Dude, I'm just going to say this. Like, the man has more restraint than I do because they went through my wife's room and my son's room. Oh, my God. Like, you think you've seen mean tweets, like Friels. I'm just saying, like, oh no. The only places in which the agents allegedly found purported classified documents were the storage room, the 45 office, and rooms adjacent to the 45 office. So from those areas, the agents seized approximately 45, it's an interesting number, items they considered to be, quote, pieces of evidence comprised of boxes and sets of miscellaneous documents. And it goes on with, the misrepresentations in the search warrant affidavits, the Fourth Amendment particularity requirement. All in all, this makes it abundantly clear, in my opinion, that this was unconstitutional. It was a straight up violation, poorly handled, and potentially deadly.
Yeah, they made it dangerous when it really didn't
need to
no.
be. Even if you accept that there were, like, for whatever reason that this was authorized, right? Even if you say, okay, this was all right, the way they did it, completely unnecessary. It could have been some phone calls, it could have been very, very different. But these are the same people that are excited about, like, 3 a.m. raids on Roger Stone with the TV cameras and all that.
Yeah, they told CNN before to make sure that they were there.
Make sure they were there. Yeah. F these people, man. Like, seriously. Like, this entire, quote, administration, end quote, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They're a bunch of criminals.
They are.
And it's mind-boggling how they continue to get away with it. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again because I truly believe it. There was a point when I was like, Trump, he really needs to cool off, man. He really needs to calm down with the Twitter. Maybe you should say less. Maybe you should be a little less maybe. No, dude. No. At this point, like I said, his restraint's way better than me because I would be going off. I'd be making videos talking about, come on, I'm here. Come on, send the FBI to me now. what? Like, yeah, like that's that. Yeah, me being president would be it'd be a journey. Let's put it that way. It'd be a journey. You think they hate Trump? Thing is, I'm not a billionaire, so they'd take me out in a heartbeat. Let's face it. I'm a quote right-wing extremist, end quote. According to these people. So because I believe in free speech and the Second Amendment. So I don't know. There's so much to this that it is genuinely. It really is it's infuriating, but it's also heartbreaking that the country that I love and that our fathers and grandfathers in many cases gave their lives to defend has turned into this.
That it's falling apart.
And absolutely. So I just came back from South Bend. I was in South Bend yesterday. I'm going to be on TV on PBS. But there was a bridge, right, on Western Avenue, and you got to go under the bridge, and there's a stoplight there, and there's steady water just streaming down from the middle of the bridge. Just a hole.
Wow.
Now, bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, as if you haven't seen the coffee break episode from this morning, I'd recommend you look it up. But my buddy Jim pointed out, remember that this glorious marvel that is South Bend, the former mayor is now the Secretary of Transportation.
Yep.
God help us all, because the streets in South Bend are shit. Absolute hot flaming garbage. I rode my motorcycle and I'm like, oh God, oh, ow, oh God, it's a good thing I don't need more kids. Like, it's terrible. It's absolutely atrocious. And this is the dipshit in charge of our infrastructure. God help us. Anything
what can you say?
Huh?
What else is there to say?
What is it? Exactly. What else is there to say? We are living in a clown world.
Everything's upside down.
Yeah. And I don't want to get too biblical.
Okay.
But if you look, I think it's I can't quote exactly where it is. There's a part in the Bible, right, where it says in the end times, men will be lovers of money, upside down, left is right, right is left, up is down. And boy, that sure sounds like today, don't it?
It does.
It really, really does. It is mind-boggling how we got to this point. And all I can say definitively is we have to really work together to create the country that we want. However you go about that, whether it's in the voting booth, whether it's running for office, whether it's supporting quality candidates, whether it's moving to a vault in the middle of nowhere, which is what we talked about this morning. Look, as far as I'm concerned, nothing's off the table. But I'd like to see the easy before we get to the hard. That's just how it is. And I am not the only one praying that November presents a change.
We'll see.
We shall see. With that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate your time. Thank you for spending the time with us. And we got a lot coming up. Stay tuned. Without further ado, God bless you, God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. Have a great day.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Shawn Holmgren and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose